I should get my Steven Tyler on with this. It's good stuff. First one for you guys later on. Hello, everybody. All right. Welcome to our second spoken word event here at the Rochambeau Library. This that you see right here is from the enthusiasm of the first one. We were so excited, everybody really asked for us to do another one, and so we are putting this together. I have a sign-up sheet. We're going to pick that at random, see who wants to come up. We've got some musical numbers. We've got some great poetry. We're going to have a little intermission for folks to kind of get up and stretch their legs. And then at the end of the night, we kind of do an open call for those of you who are kind of hiding and get a little braver as the night goes on. If you would like to perform later on, okay? But in the meantime, I would like to introduce our first poet. May I steal one of these? Larissa Nat Brooks is a poet. She is an author. She is an educator. She was the cover story on BWA magazine, and she is gracing us with her fantastic voice and presence today. Please come up to the stage. We'd love to welcome you. Thank you. And have a big hand for Felix. Thank you so much.
No, you are gracing me. Thank you, because I always love this opportunity. And this is fantastic. My applause to this library team that put this together for the community. Fabulous, really. Give them a hand. I love it. I'm going to be reading one of my poems from the book, Excuse Me While I Live My Life. And I am very happy that this book is actually available right here in this beautiful library if you'd like to take it out. And if you'd like to own a copy, you can get it from any online source that sells books or from me at this table later. Okay? I'm going to begin with me. There was no particular reason, no special holiday or season. I just awoke, and as I lay, I heard my gentle spirit say, please, no routines today. For once, let's go a different way. Please, just give us this one day. Now, I'd heard that voice several times before, but I had always chosen to ignore. Responsibilities overruled, too many things to always do, too many people to answer to. If I wasn't there, what would they do? But today, for some reason, I don't even know why, I heard my spirit, and I finally obliged. So I called in with a feeling of dread. Okay, goodbye, is all they said. So I responded, okay, and I went ahead. No real plans, just headed out. I walked around and ventured about, a cup of coffee with a fancy name, a long walk down a pretty lane. Bought a scarf I did not need. It was shiny and nice indeed. I tossed it on and moved along, then started humming some old song. I didn't even know the name. It just popped itself into my brain. And I must have hummed for quite a while because people looked at me and smiled. Now, usually I am quite shy, but today I waved back and then said, hi. I walked along my little stroll, loosening typical self-control. I embraced all that I saw in this world, like I had not done since I was a girl. Yes, I took it in and absorbed it all, and by the time that dark began to fall, I knew that something had to give if I was truly going to live and love and laugh and lift my heart. And today would finally be the start. Then I stopped for a moment and I thought, when did we become so overwrought? Who said to have success that we should make stressful ways our greater good? Am I keeping up? Am I doing okay? Why do we live by what others say? Because it's a race until we die. So shut up, don't think, do not ask why. We've responsibilities, okay, yes. We have our jobs and days of stress and things and stuff to all sort out that pressure us so and leave us in doubt. We've got to do them, yes, I see. But today it became quite clear to me. You see, my spirit, she made me listen today to what for so long she'd been trying to say. But sometimes my head is too darn hard, and I find it difficult to lower my guard. I just couldn't be super she for this 24. I needed something just a little bit more. I needed time. I needed air. I needed to just be here with no clocking in and no deadlines. I needed to simply clear my mind. And she said, my spirit, take care of what you have to, dear. But when I speak, please stop and hear. When I'm telling you to take a break, just listen, please, for goodness sake. Yes, live responsibly and keep your word. Don't let your duties go deferred. Just make it a point to let in the joy because you are worthy. You are royal. You're not in this world to only pass a test, to be filled with worries and consumed in stress. And darling, never forget that you are truly so very blessed. And remember, you have the power to be the face of peace that others see. And so I heard, and I cherished each word. And by nightfall, I had embraced it all. And tomorrow, I will step back into my role, but I think I'll do so with a bit more soul. I'll take a break and maybe even a walk. I'll stop by someone's desk to talk. I'll remember to smile a wee bit more because life need not be such an awful bore. I can crack my day open and make it more bright and be that someone who adds a little more light to the gloomy, moody, draggy day because it does not need to be that way. Amongst all of the noise and the deadlines and the chatter, I can remind those I am with that they matter. We're not just a bunch who gather for 8 hours to simply perform duties and to be devoured by rules and demands by those who hold power. And I say, thank you, Spirit, for making me see that the goodness you gave is not only for me. If I take care of me, I can appreciate others and be kinder and gentler to my sisters and brothers. Spirit, now I can say that I see your plan. Get it now. I understand. If I want more joy to be felt and heard and seen, I must always first begin with me. Thank you so much.
Let's give Clarice on the big round. That was great. I just want to warn you guys coming up. We got power cord here, so just FYI, don't make it a performance piece. So I'm gonna grab my sheet here.
Oh, all the groovy just left the room.
Nonsense. All right, now, here's the fun part. This is a bit like DJing. We pick some folks, we have some mixing and some matching. So first, I would just like to introduce, this is all made possible. My name is Jeff. I work here at the library and the staff. And this over here is the Aesop Society. We're a writing group. And we had this great idea a little while back to put together something like this. And We had some performance pieces and everybody freaked out, as one does. And we ended up having a great night. And so this is the product. So if you guys could just stand up, and if the Rochambeau folks could stand up too, just so everyone can see you, please. That would be great. That would be great. Give everybody a big hand. Thank you. So speaking of that, there is a very groovy young lady who I'd like to introduce you to, and her name is Janet.
Okay, hi everybody. Tonight I'm going to read a poem that draws on two of my great interests. That is, one is the natural world, and the other is the passage of time. The highest leaf on the topmost branch of the tallest tree in the forest wakes up as a pale green bud to find that of all its kind, it alone was chosen to greet the sky. The highest leaf of the topmost branch of the tallest tree in the forest waves as witness to woodland weddings in April showers, billows of drifting white and pink and yellow rain on blushing brides flushed in the wind. The highest leaf on the topmost branch of the tallest tree in the forest sits atop a verdant throne, bowing only to rumbling storm clouds that quench quivering, glistening canopies, thirsty in hot sun. The highest leaf on the topmost branch of the tallest tree in the forest fades like a shriveled king and falls defeated with an army of many colors, bled dry by the sun's retreat. Hidden under a white stole, the forest twitches and quickens. Night follows day and night in its footsteps, twisting and turning, sleeping and stirring. The littlest leaf on the lowest twig of the tiniest tree in the forest wakes up in frosted earth, rooting for mother, all instincts propelling upward to see the light. The littlest leaf on the lowest twig of the tiniest tree in the forest lies in a layette of green and a blanket of bugs that burrow its flesh as it inches towards the sky. The littlest leaf on the lowest twig of the tiniest tree in the forest swaps green for red, then brown, and dreams of a life aloft as the highest leaf on the topmost branch of the tallest tree in the forest.
Let's give Janet another round of applause. Thank you all. All right. I would like to welcome Finn to the stage, please.
Thanks.
What even is a Capricorn anyway? You say it's a fish goat. Yes, it is a fish goat, and it is also the constellation that overarched me and my first idea of love as our pudgy, sweat-dripping hands stuck together my first idea of a home that was not made of wood and paint and ants. Capricorn is a fish goat, but it is also the name I grew numb to, my interest in it, and fairly all things related to birth charts, fading like a sun behind the filthy lakes of Maine that I secretly would kill to visit again, as Capricorn became the only thing I heard. Am I a Capricorn? Where's Capricorn in the sky? Are you a Capricorn? And I may not be a Capricorn, but I once knew a Capricorn with a smile soft as goat's fur and a mind as quick as a fish's tail. but she had hooves of titanium and scales sharp as razors. And so Capricorn became an agonizing lump of syllables, Capricorn, and the fish goat's horns now stabbing pains to my ribs, rather than ornaments atop its own skull. Keep to your own skull, and I will keep to mine. And now I know to never let a Capricorn inside my skull again. Thank you.
Let's get over Fit again. That was great. That was great. Thank you. I would welcome Dick Matheson to the stage, please.
First time I've done this. We just moved from Vermont down here. Don't have the printer hooked up yet, so see if I can read my scribbles.
Yeah, welcome.
This is a self-description of a young woman healing from trauma from a fiction book. The girl who keeps moving no matter what, whose roulette wheel characters spin by, the girl with secrets under her face, who glances stunned at mirrors, the lamb tethered in jungles, excited by tigers, the dangerous, wicked girl, the 5-year-old who laughs at pain, who plays with evil like a broken snake, the girl who makes up games, fires players, changes rules, the spectral girl who can't be locked or tied, the girl who disappears, the seductive, innocent girl, the girl with woman's breasts, the abandoned girl, the waif, the witch, who screams when touched, then smiles, the plaintive, mocking girl, the feral girl men try to tame, the slave girl who enslaves, sees selfishness and treachery as love, whatever that is. This one's called The Speechless Widow. The speechless widow searches beaches for loaf-shaped stones. All winter in her bed, she warms them, her husband's bones, cuddling herself around them, making little moans. And do the stones respond? Do they caress her hair in her beach dreams? There are no perfect lovers, no substitutes for broken teams. To her, each stone is him. Love doesn't die for her, it seems. It lies there in the space between two lovers, one of them not seen. And this one is The Chicken in Your Dreams. In Senegal, with the famine evaluation team, I squatted with a family talking food. The man was saying, for 3 years, I have dreamed of a chicken. I would feed it to my family. They would be fat, laughing, and still more chicken. Then the woman spoke. We eat whatever has life, grass, leaf, bug, bark of stick. His chicken dream is cackling of our death. Papa, Papa, broke in Gistu, I will be your chicken. You can eat me, and then you won't be hungry. No, no, baby, we will never eat you. The chicken never comes because he doesn't love us, but I want you to be fat and happy. I am the chicken in your dreams. No, Gistu, the father said. The skin will slide like water off our bones, but we will never be that hungry.
Let's give another round of applause right there, please. Thank you. I would like to welcome, I just had it, don't get old. Christine, please. Christine, there we go. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, hey, everybody. This is my first time here and I actually only found out this was happening about half an hour ago. It's serendipitous, right? So I am a visual artist and poet in Providence. I go by Third Eye of Providence. And by visual artist, I mean, so I go to open mics. I go to poetry nights, R&B, hip hop, everything. I worked at this club you may have heard of, The Parlor in Providence. I was running their social media for 2 years. I consider it a gift to be able to see the stars of Providence shine so brightly. And so because of that, I was inspired to give back to my community. And I have 2 poems for you. The first one is called US of fucking A. Hold on, sorry. Rewind it, start it over again. Just wanted to make sure we got all on the same page here. So again, like I said, Third Eye of PVD. If you go on social media, please follow me. I like to take videos. All right, here we go. Scratch out, let's go back. US of fucking A. Oh, say, can you see the blatant hypocrisy? That time costs money in this country and living here isn't free. So cash rules everything around me. And even if you sell your soul, you pick a side. You might make a nickel, but Uncle Sam steals your dime for his 2-party systems that support genocide. And the divide is open wide. And politicians are the highest bidders at the slaughterhouse. You can watch it live. Because we, the people, is a lie. We're all auctioned like cattle nationwide. And honestly, this country used to have such beauty, such bounty, such land of opportunity. But let me ask you this, Lady Liberty, who is she? I heard she found an overseas sugar daddy and she left her hopes and dreams in a land of misery loves companies. Thank you. Always preaching to the choir. And then the next one I have for you guys is going to be called Mind, Body, and Soul. So please know this, body shaming is really insidious because it makes us shift our focus away from the things that make us beautiful, just like sunsets. We're temporary vessels made to mirror Mother Earth's image, and such we gracefully and age daily into our blessed mind, soul bodies that inevitably turn back into cosmic pure love energy. So when I said body shaming is insidious, what I really mean is this, is we will all have to face this darkness. There will come a day, the reckoning of facing a hecklers in the street society that tells people what to do with their bodies. And it makes us sign up for all this ignorant bullshit that makes us look at our neighbors and ourselves like we're freaks and we're failures. And we can't see the beautiful people underneath because they want to sell us a remedy for being unique. Also that they can make us enemies. But let me ask you this. Who gave you authority over what I see when I look at me? I am the divine embodied. And I will not take that into my blessed mind, soul, body. Thank you.
Let's give another hand for Christine, please. That was good. So I think it might be time for a musical number. Please welcome Amy and Fancy.
All beautiful one in the middle,
No, I don't.
and I'll be a little
I just-
vintage.
Let's just be 2 together.
Okay, yeah, similar heights is good, okay, fair
Thicker
game,
stripes and rhythm.
fair, oh, good, we'll need that.
All right, so I know.
It's the world premiere.
Right, oh my gosh. So Chris and I both discovered we love this same song, and it's a duet, and Chris is an accomplished musician and has performed and has convinced me to sing in front of people for the first time ever. Very safe environment, so
Yeah,
just be
it's
kind, I know
risk-free.
you will be.
It's good. It's an Irish song. It's a modern Irish duet. I think it's one of the best ones. It's called In a Week. I have never known peace like the damp grass yields to me. I have never known hunger like these insects that feast on me. 1,000 teeth, and yours among them, I know. Our hunger's appeased, our heartbeats become slow. Here for years or for hours,
Thrown here or found, to freeze or to thaw. So
we become the flowers. Two corpses we were, two corpses I saw. They find us in a week. When the weather gets hard, after the insects have made their claim, I'll be home with you. I'll be home with you.
I have never known sleep like the slumber that creeps to me. I have never known color like this morning reveals to me. And you haven't moved an inch, such that I would not know. If you sleep always like this, the fresh only gleam.
Here for years or for hours,
Your hand in my hand, so still and discreet.
so we become the flowers. We feed well the land and worry the sheep, and they find us in a week. When the cattle show fear, after the insects have made their claim, after the foxes have known our taste, I'd be home with you. I'd be home with you. And they find us for years or for hours. So I get tired of the flowers. They find us for years or for hours. So can be the flowers. They find us in a week. When the buzzards get loud, after the insects have made their claim, after the foxes have known our taste, after the raven has had its say, I'd be home with you. I'd be home with you. I'd be home with you. I'd be home. I'd be home with you. I'd be home with you. Is he at a Madison Square Garden tomorrow night? I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing.
You can buy their album up front. That'd be selling autograph. Let's give another big hand for Amy and Chris. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome Claude to the stage.
My name is Claude LeBeau. I'm a group leader for an organization called Survivor Network Abused by Priests. And all the people in my group, me included, are survivors of sexual violence. I do a lot of writing, speaking, advocacy. One area I deal with a lot is very controversial. It's called recovered memories, which means that somebody forgets about the memory of their abuse and it comes back to them many years later. And that's what my particular experience is. So I do a lot of writing to describe that kind of poetically, what that's like. It's kind of difficult to do that with a straightforward narrative. So I'm going to present you with something today I wrote recently. You hid from me one day to protect me from a horror I couldn't describe. I was trapped, frightened, but you gave me life. Years later, I would call you my memory. But for now, you're just a voice, unseen, unknown. Over the years, you called out to me often. I heard, but I couldn't understand. I reached out, but I couldn't touch. You were the memory kept hidden from me. I felt nervous about not finding you. Nervousness like a rope tied around me, steadily choking. Your voice called to me, told me to walk and become free. So I began walking. My body was unbalanced. I stumbled. A wall of fear stood in front of me, confronting, intimidating. Your unseen voice attacked like a bolt of lightning, pulverized the wall of fear. My body moved forward boldly. My feet stepped gracefully around obstacles in my path. Your voice became an angry waterfall, shouting away my anxieties. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I was going somewhere. I couldn't say what I was looking for, but I could say that I was looking. And come what may, I know that you are my memory. Memory that hid from me all these years. My memory trying to hide, but demanding to be found. My body twists and turns. I feel more alive. I see things kept hidden from me, like peeking into a room with a door slowly opening, calling me forward. I walk into the room. I see you again. You are my memory, trapped, frightened, suffocated with toxic emotions. We're together again. It's my turn to keep you alive. I rush forward and capture you with ruthless compassion. I am you, you are me. We're both the same. We are both alive.
Give another big hand for Claude, please. Thank you so much. All right. I would like to welcome Jess to the stage. Please give a hand for Jess.
Do you recall that tragic case of Noah whom fiends dragged to hell? With outstretched arms and anguished face, to fate unknown none could foretell. One story in the aftermath of those first dreadful days of war, Leora was on cancer's path, and only Noah had she bore. I saw how sadly you'd react at poor Leora's urgent pleas. To think about such woes stacked, a daughter captive and disease. Now Noah's back, but you are gone. I hope Leora feels at peace. And Noah, there for last breaths drawn, can handle her dear one's release. Should you and Noah's mother meet, tell her your daughter thinks of hers. But for today, the news we greet, our people's future hope avers. Thank you.
Let's keep it going with Jesse. I would like to welcome Joe to the stage, please.
Bringing props for your amusement. You're invited to visit the props later. One of them is a 55-year-old pair of pants. You'll see why. And I think everybody can hear me. And so I'll just stay over here and tell you about Holman Day, who was a poet of Maine who lived from 1865 to 1935, a newspaper man in Maine, who wrote about Maine characters, colorful individuals, fantastic stories of locals, and it has to do with pants in this case. And in contrast to the really touching, soul-searching, heavy-duty poetry that's been coming off the stage here, this is supposed to be a break. The pants Jemimy made. Aunt Brown, Jemimy Brown, was a spinster, spinner, weaver of merited renown. Our town set it down as a fact, beyond disputing, there was never any suiting like the suiting what was made by Spinster Brown. She raised the wool, she made it up. She kept a flock of sheep. She fed him on the toughest straw the hired man could reap. She spun a thread of triple twist and wove a warp and woof so tough you'd swear the stuff was darn near bulletproof. And when the cloths were shrunk and dyed and ready for a suit, the men in town would almost fight. There'd always be dispute concerning who had spoken first, the furthest in advance, and therefore had the prior claim on Aunt Jemimy's pants. The cloth that folks make nowadays is flimsy, slimpsy stuff. It's colored up in fairish style and fashionable enough, but blame the goods. It's made to sell, 'tisn't made to wear. I've had these pants on about 5 years, but that is only fair. You get a cut of cloth of Aunt Jemimy's weave, you'll get some pants to see you through, you'll better just believe. For in the time that modern pants is getting worn and thin, a pair of Aunt Jemimy's pants is barely broken in. I got a pair up attic now, made 40 years ago. They're still tough as iron, and time has made no show. They've stood the brunt of honest toil and dulled the tooth of moth, and there they stand, stiff as slab, good old-fashioned cloth. The day I first put on those pants, and you're all taking me much too seriously. The day I first put on those pants, I worked a break-up plow. The farmers of these later days don't have such rassles now. I drove 6 oxen on ahead, a pretty hefty team,
For farmers in them former times used muscle, grit, and steam. You didn't stop for rocks and roots, or dodge and skive and skip, or else you'd have to lug your meals on every furrow's trip. And so the only thing to do was make the oxen tread, hold the plowshare straight and true, and plunk her straight ahead. So back and forth and back and forth, I mowed and I rode and plowed all day. I plowed and plowed all day, and conquered every root and snag that dared dispute my way, till there was just one critter left, a big old maple stump. And so I give the team the whip and took her on the jump. She split in halves, and through I went. But back she snapped a whack and caught Jemima's pantaloons right where she'd left them slack. The team was going double quick. The oxen plunged along. I gripped the old oak handlebars. I held them good and strong, and there I was, the living link, twixt plow and stump, because the pants were caught there good and tight between those maple jaws. Jemima hadn't planned on this, making pants for me. She made them solid, but of course she gave no guarantee that they could stand a yank like that. But still, I clung, I yelled. The oxen lunged and tussled. Jemima's pants, they held, as the stump comes out a kicking, roots and dirt and stones and all. And those pants weren't even started by that most tremendous fall. And if some scoffer chooses to doubt, I've saved the chips and hewing, where they came and chopped me out. Thank you very much.
Let's give it up for Joe again. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to welcome Noelle to the stage, please.
I think I will read two poems today. Okay. Sorry. Okay. This one's about my friend. Yeah. I met you in kindergarten. My whole life changed in kindergarten. You were the kid everyone scrambled to sit next to. And of course, being the nosy kid I am, I had to see what the fuss was about. My whole life changed that bus ride. I was the first kid to sit next to you from that day on. I had someone to play with every recess. From that day on, my life was changed for the better from that day on. I don't think you understand how much you mean to me. I don't think you know how many times your sunshine warded away the darkness, even if it were for just the time you were there. I don't think you realize how loved I felt when I was on the verge of a panic attack and saw your worried face searching the halls. I don't think you know how my heart broke when we went on our last field trip. I don't think you know how my heart broke when I saw you in a graduation gown. I know everyone had the same thing on, but there's something about the way you wore that stupid gown made everything seem okay. You don't understand. The only reason I cried that 8th grade graduation was because I knew that was the last time I was going to be able to spend my school days with you. I knew that was the last time I would be able to look forward to lunches. I knew that was the last time I would be able to find you crying in the science room and give you a long hug and try to make everything okay for a while. You can never understand how far I would go for you. You can never understand how amazing you are. You can never understand how your sunshine shines through even the darkest of clouds. I love you, Sid, with all my heart and all my being. And I always will, no matter what. No matter which ways our path may go, no matter where we are in this world, I will always, always love you. Okay, sorry. You told me I was out of shape. And you don't know how much that hurt. You don't know how much time and energy I spent searching website upon college paper, figuring out what was wrong with me. You don't know the nights I cried myself to sleep because I was broken. You don't know having to sit out on something you love because you felt the world was spinning out of control. You don't understand having to reshape your whole life over something you don't understand. You don't understand anything. And I told you everything. All for you to say you're out of shape. Fine, I'm out of shape, but my legs still go numb when I walk upstairs. Fine, I'm out of shape, but my heart still races marathons when I stop to breathe. Fine, I'm out of shape, but my knees turn purple when I stand for too long. Fine, I'm out of shape, but I don't have the strength to stand in the shower and then get dressed. Does that just sound out of shape to you? I remember that offhanded comment you made while disregarding my problems. Everyone's getting diagnosed with POTS these days. Do you remember? Do you remember that? Did you notice the hope leave my eyes as I realized you didn't believe me? I'm sure you didn't, because I'm just out of shape. Why would you care?
Let's please keep that going for Noel, all right? That was good. Thanks. We're gonna take a little intermission, but before then, we have a special performance from Kurt.
Little mic test because I don't want to shout. I'm an actress, so I may actually shout a little bit. In fact, I think I'll put this aside if I may. It feels like I will. Feeling in the air that I may just shout. Because I'm excited about this topic. I was asked by another poet friend of mine who'd been reading beautiful Egyptian poetry. She said, it seems really clear that men can describe women very physically and with a lot of emotion around their beauty and their walk and their gaze. And it's not very personal, but can women write the same poetry about men where we talk about their looks and their particular stride or something like that only? And I took up the task to try and failed. So if you feel a little bit like this is a little bit racy, either, you can close your eyes, you can not hear it, but it's gonna be a little racy. So this is, in the classical Greek style, this is an ode to his penis. Oh, penis, to me you stand as high and hard as the Washington Monument, the Eiffel Tower, quaint, empire, and leaning slightly like Pisa. In short, you're long, and he would have them know he's big, way bigger than the other guys with his shoe size. And I should start behaving like a man with a big dick, he says, swing it around a little so they can feel it. Oh, they'll feel you, penis, as I do, for you push the envelope. Oh, penis, once urged from the nest of your orbicular friends, you start humble, shy, discreet. You know your potential to impress. Your plump head, nascent body yield enough for further promise. A shower and also a grower. You deliver, you gratefully reward tenfold each taker and some fakers. Oh, penis, your spicy musk of cardamom, clove, and honey excites like an early morning after camping. Is there a promise of a robust day when emerging from the tent? Alive, as breath first collides with the tangy snap of pine. As the cock crows, slim, soft skin stretches luxuriously. A clever burst of wrinkles reveals a dimpled smile, daring to take a plunge into crystal waters. When the dew wets your surface, the tumid blood inside you quickly hardens, as plaster Paris would fill the mold. A monolithic self-portrait comprises your sculpture. That is sculpture for some in the audience. And you draw out your work of art on a scale of 3 to 1, at least. Oh my, you, penis darling, are a choking hazard. Oh, penis, you are a citadel of springtime lust, a wrapping of the maypole as horned Pan pipes lewdly laughing. A feast for the senses, ribbon festooned breasts and bellies, rough trunks of trees, smooth banks of salmon streams. Confronted with your sleek-lined volume, a modest vagina muses, quivering. Her flower petals flutter, not so wary as watchful. The obvious advantage is in paving the way with nectar wine. For you, penis, will dig the deepest well for her village, quenching thirst, bringing life, and abundant harvest. Oh, penis, with the strength of Zeus, you charge your bolt to smite or ignite, clashing with the pliant lips of supplicant virgins, or the downy wreaths of ladies Godiva, well versed in vehicular equine ecstasy. In your darkest mind, you might be a battering ram, 100 horsepower to splinter helpless portcullises in a few gainful blows. You, penis, are the lover of such delicacies as long-lashed eyes turned up, creamy thighs, plump red lips. You make no bones about specific shape, only that they part to let your parts go by. Oh, penis, the collective unconscious is yours, and dreams are shapes of you. You are never simply a cigar or a choo-choo train. You, penis, will not stand idle. With all that fuel and combustion, you are the engine that can be brought to bear only by the steering of your driver. You can rage, but you are constrained without consent, relegated to revving and pointing the way. Feckless rebellion backfires entirely, and sometimes the best laid schemes sadly go awry. Oh, penis, I know you for the giant that you are, but as with any gift of power, you must accept your fate. The gods never bestow grace without providing contracts due. You may be the catalyzing force or the deciding member, but you are not your own. You are his to master, his to hide behind for safety, his with which to plunder as he chooses. Be assured, I am your partner in crime, dear penis. But I confess that when considered apart from him, whom you can call your jailer, I must count you slightly less in my esteem. I mean, you are, as ever, handsome, formidable, a notorious bandit. But alas, without the vital substance of your man, to whom you and I both loyally adhere, I would have no choice but to let you hang. And like this poem, it would all come to a blunt end.
Let's get another big round for Carabin, please. We're gonna take a little 10-minute intervention, so just feel free to have some snacks, walk around a little bit, stretch your legs. We'll be back in 10.
Your Sunday session, we got you. Switch to my home and get your health. TV on every other game every Sunday afternoon. Only on radio. If you spend nearly $750 like this, imagine what we could get. Like blackberries, cranberries. Exactly. Halle berry. Switch to progressive and you can save hundreds.
Well, they quickly eliminate pain. No, you're going to something like nicotine or life sensitivity or get in front of it with Ubrelvy. People who took Ubrelvy at the early signs of a migraine attack stopped hesitating before it started. Ubrelvy is not for migraine prevention. Do not take with strong sensory A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects are nausea and fainting. Talk to your doctor about treating at the early signs of migraine. Ubrelvy. See anytime, anywhere, migraine medicine.
The internet is all. That's what I was gonna say, like, there's a lot of things that I want to find out in the world, but like, I'm almost literally like, kind of,
Your phone was muted. Oh, thank you.
Wow, that is a great one. Oh my God.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So we're gonna do a little intermission thing. I want everybody to stand up, please. Stand up, stretch your arms around a little bit, twist a little bit, touch those toes if you can. Don't split those hands. So I went to the bathroom on the break and I realized I had glitter on. I had completely forgotten. How can you forget such a thing? But the vibe of this particular poetry event is groovy. But really, the underscore of this is what an incredible amount of emotion and talent and raw truth and honesty. It can only happen when everybody is supportive. So please give yourselves a round of applause and give a round of applause. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be able to put on these events. I'm so proud of everybody who performs. And so to keep that going, we have Anna, who's going to sing us a song.
I'd like to argue that it's mostly about the lava lamp. Asking us. I remember you well at the Chelsea Hotel. You were talking so brave and so sweet, giving me head on the unmade bed as the limousines wait in the street. And those were the reasons, and that was New York. We were running for the money and the flirt. And that was called love for the workers in song. Probably still is for those of them left. Oh, but you got away, didn't you, babe? You just turned your back on the crowd. Oh, but you got away. I never once heard you say, I need you. I don't need you. I need you. I don't need you. And all of that driving around. I remember you well at the Chelsea Hotel. You were famous, your heart was a legend. You told me again you prefer handsome men, but for me you would make an exception. And clenching your fist for the ones like us who are oppressed by the figures of beauty. You fixed yourself, you said, never mind, we are ugly, but we have the music. Oh, but you got away, didn't you, babe? You just turned your back on the crowd. Oh, but you got away, never once heard you say, I need you. I don't need you. I need you. I don't need you. And all of that jive and around. I don't mean to suggest that I loved you the best. I can't keep track of each fallen robin, but I remember you well at the Chelsea Hotel, and that's all. I don't even think of you that often.
Let's keep it going for animators. We've done it. I'd like to welcome Chris to the stage for.
Again? What to do? Come on. This is coming up. Or no, maybe it's not. My hands are too, my palms are too sweaty from all the nervousness of playing that song earlier. Just take one of those. I just have to find a suitable poem in this little manuscript. It's called Everyone Here Is Waiting for You to Shape Up. And if anyone here is a publisher, you can have this copy free. You just let me know. I will read one poem called The American Revolutionary War, Part 2. In which the answer to an age-old question will be determined once and for all by way of a series of contests to be held this Friday, the 30th of August at Mission Dolores Park, San Francisco, California. The flyer read. And so, right away, there was contention, because the Brit wanted to have it in his home country, but the choice of venue was as fair as any coin toss. The first event was a simple chip, or crisp, depending on whom you ask, eating contest, to which concerns of relevance were raised by both sides, viz. What did one's capacity to consume chips, or crisps, have to do with what they should be called? How was an appetite in any way a rubric for lexicography, etc.? But no matter. The Brit downed 15 entire cans of Pringles. They had chosen for this event one of the so-called neutral crisps, or chips, meaning one which appeared in both countries. In 5 minutes, to the Yankees' mere 9, a surprising upset right out of the gate, as Americans are generally subconsciously considered to be able to consume more snacks in one sitting than British folk. But in this competition, as in life, sometimes it's just about how fast you can chew. The second event was a sort of horizontal tasting of a neutral chip, or crisp, to learn which country made the better product, a contest that both sides agreed was much more germane to the goal of the contest. The snack to be sampled was the Dorito, in particular the Cool Ranch variety, which it was quickly learned is called Cool Original in Britain, a revelation that led to some confusion and argument concerning the real flavor of Doritos. No matter, the chips, or crisps, were decided to be equally delicious, regardless of their country of origin, and the Frito-Lay Corporation was praised by all present for their consistency. Third event was the long jump. The Brit took it, being more fit. The fourth event was a 3-page essay on the matter to be written by each competitor in defense of their respective terms. They will not be quoted here, as neither competitor proved particularly eloquent or lucid in detailing their points. But suffice it to say, the Brit won for his slightly more charming tone. The fifth and final event was a comparison of the so-called non-neutral chips, or crisps. The Yank brought along Cheetos, Funyuns,
And in a bold move on whose particular brand of audacity one can't quite put their finger, Stacy's cinnamon sugar pita chips. While the Brit contributed crispy bacon frazzles, hula hoops, and Walker's definitively prawn cocktail with veil of Evesham tomatoes crisps. Britain's crisps won by a landslide. The onlookers at Dolores Park that August 30th shared a tense collective sigh as the truth slowly dawned on them. Those fragile slices of fried potato that they in retrospect had depended on for so long as a source of national pride and even national identity would forevermore be referred to as crisps. The Brit took his victory with quiet dignity, the way only a Brit can, congratulating his opponent for his valiant effort, shaking hands with the referees, ecstatic beneath his veneer of humility. But the crowd with their distant eyes, gazed reverently into the foggy San Francisco horizon without applauding, as if already remembering the good old days, some of their jaws agape in awe, some of their lips pursed in anger, some of them to be seen silently mouthing the words, potato chips, to themselves for the last time. In this competition, as in life, sometimes it's not the answer you want, that is the answer you know to be correct.
You write about anything besides food?
No. Thanks. Let's get another round for Chris. That was great. Thank you. I would like to welcome So Young to the stage, please.
Thank you for having me. I'm the State Youth Poetry Ambassador this year, so I'm excited to be here. I'll be reading 2 poems. The first one is titled Real Nice Year Past. I like your long teeth, fish, and the slim contour of your tail. To protect my peace, I must say it's real nice. This year finds me searching for that kind of lightning again. 2 weeks just to show I know it wasn't nothing fish. Swim on by. There are dogs watching from behind glass storm doors, in the shadows of the wood-paneled hallways beyond. Take with you all the seconds you need, retrieved from our long-gone conversations. Plastic card with your pleasant face on it. A license to swim wherever you want, I guess. It might make you feel better. Your son waits upstream. The next poem is formatted in a sort of grid fashion. As 3 columns, there are 3 different narratives. So if you don't know what's going on, it's switching between the narratives. We docked our boat by the hydrangea, and then the celestial visitors descend on a Thursday afternoon. Oh, says the little boy, who witnesses it like a crimson vision descending upon faraway seas, like the moment the last scissor-tailed flycatcher leaves the state for the winter. You're back, and then he runs off to collect the other children, after which comes a period of great revelry. We have returned from the most successful trip heavenwards, says the celestial visitors, leaning over the wicker basket sides of their beautiful airship. A domestic scene of an intimate nature. You say that you heard a great beast outside your window the night that she died. Now picture it turning away, joints so heavy you can barely hear past the suckle, the grinding and popping and cacophonous laughter of their bones of time. Imagine the luminous gray stripped from its very bones. Let me tell you this. 5 years ago, I stood in this kitchen, this front door. A dog barks down the street to the miraculous child hidden beneath the shade of the poplars. He says, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you. I could see the tigers in the hillsides, say the celestial visitors, recalled its ugliness like the end of an old man's white beard glimpsed draped over the shoulder. Recalled also the broad road stretching far overhead, where at the end the Prime Minister wears his damp wool coat as he watches smoke rise from the Bayflow chimneys into the sky, not unlike the low roofs of Newfoundland and Labrador. A truck heading towards the sun, heavy industry eastward bound. It is moving south, said the dogs, and they curled up on the lawn, content again. Canadians in search of a miracle now travel to Taipei. I left you a voicemail on this perfect day. So I guess it comes down to the rubber soles that line these fertile streets. You're like a vein shifting over the velvety fold of an elder's ankles. Ye good for nothing. The only words you know could bathe the earth with its gentle indulgences. Mountains could collapse behind you and you would never know. Bellies to the sky. Tell me what you think about this kind of fate. This simple death. You know it won't matter. Thank you.
Let's give it one for so young. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome Anthony to the stage, please. Anthony.
I've never done this at all. Like, I didn't have no idea what I was walking into, so. I did some stuff, I'm in recovery and, I write a ton of poetry, like, about my recovery.
Excellent.
And, so what I did was I kind of combined 3 poems, take one out of here, put one in there for them to mesh, because I didn't know what I thought maybe it had to be all one hour, so.
All good. It's all good.
Yeah, so pain and angels, basically, I guess. Sweet dreams of sorrow, in the past I wallow, always worried about tomorrow. It's never enough with me, I am the villain, my own worst enemy. A joyous, psychotic monster, confined to the heart of the city, burning, blazing desires boil, and she is beside me, my muse, silencing the voices, pushing the obsession, coating the brain, confusion, embarrassment, anxiety. I was a fool, oblivious and innocent. Use me. I am a slave to your presence, to your love. Rage with angels in the night sun, the morning stars shine over wilderness, mountains of heartache weep, fires of darkness carved into the midnight sky. Are you a spirit, a soul, squirming through the bowels of purgatory? Are you alive? Do you feel? Do you hurt? What's your greatest fear? For I am naked and exposed, afraid. Who is this, and where did it all start? I can't see. I give you my compromise, my sacrifice, a continuous campaign of torment. Microscopic bits of radiance, they tantalize. Is it a disguise? Camouflage, masquerading in sunlit happiness? Who are you? I am alone and lost, tempted by romance, guided by fear. And so here I am, stranger to stranger. Are you my savior or my demise? A premonition of promise or a torturous hallucination? I am weak and weary. Tolerance has faded. Ambition, a memory. I wake in the middle of the night. My greatest fear is now a reality. Will you look upon me with grace, mercy? I feel belittled and ashamed, embarrassed and incapable, continuously bamboozled, a false narrative of hope, a fool who was offered the chance of a lifetime and then passed. Here I stand, everyone looking at me. Here we are, and here I stand. I'm drowning, just above water. Where are you? What are you? The warm skies leak into the frigid waters, and here I stand. I'm suffocating. The yelling, the screaming, the crying, it sinks you deeper. My muse, my savior, my angel, here I stand, suffering. The whole wide world in all its splendor lies before me, and here I stand, waiting.
Let's give Anthony another big hand, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome Alina to the stage, please.
Hi.
Hi, Alina.
My poem is called Waves Within. Mastering the waves that come and go, waves that push me deeper into the ocean, that throw me into the rocks, high waves to tsunamis. I give my all completely, body and soul, stroking my arms, my legs, trying to keep my head above water so I can breathe. Battling against the intensity of the waves, or am I battling against my own intensity? Is this my way to protect myself? Trying to be less, to make less of what is inside, while battling even more with the waves, becoming exhausted. Uncharted waters, distant shores, there are waves that exist only in my mind. I'm drowning in the storm sea I built for myself. Many waves that come and go, pulling me and pushing me and bringing me back. It could be more, so much more, but I see it's not even that much. It is this urge to control the waves, dictating the strokes, the pace, the direction. And I just tire myself out in this fight, clinging to a rotting log, catching breath when I can't handle anymore. When I stop fighting, the ocean becomes serene. I let myself float, let myself not control the waves, just go with their flow. Let myself submerge, somersault, explore. Feel the salt in my mouth, the freshness on my skin, the sea breeze, the brightness, without fear of drowning, without fear of the intensity of the waves, without fear of my own intensity.
Let's give Alina another big round of applause. Thank you. I would like to welcome Robert to the stage, please. Robert.
I'm pretty shy, but sometimes the false confidence comes through, so maybe the facade will work. I was supposed to read something about love, but that didn't save. So I'm gonna read something called I hear there's an elephant in the room. So if it makes you uncomfortable, blame the elephant. I hear there's an elephant in the room, and the weight of what I say weighs a ton. I'm starting to wonder if you're real. There's a phrase called white lies, and these people call themselves white. So I'm wondering if they told me lies. Honest truth is my childhood innocence has left me. Like virginity leaves once before virgins. I see color and it's vibrant. I hear their words and it's deafening to silence. There's two sides to me now, the hand and the gun. Depending on the situation, I'm liable for either one. Used to think I would not be corrupted, but how can you see them be drugged and jailed while others are drugged and healed and not be affected? You ask too much of me. To show them an unwavering compassion, because like laughing into a barrel of laughs, and now laughing into a barrel, and now calling it a barrel of laughs, I'm affected by the past, but I remind myself of the present. Sitting among them in the pews, and we stretch a hand of peace. Am I truly at ease? Besides me is a little girl, and she finds my face funny, so she likes to tease. Next to her is the lady who tells me to be patient. Centuries have gone by, that's a lot of patience. We buried a lot of patience. I'm tired of waiting. Many people have fought for this. Many have died for this. They couldn't take us to the promised land. The little girl closes my mouth and says, "You like my dress with elephants?" I say it weighs a ton. Thank you.
Let's keep it going for Robert, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would like to welcome Eliza to the stage, please.
Hey. That was a tough act to follow. I'm wondering, I'm talking to Amy and Jeff, and I'm wondering if we would want to do this more often, maybe monthly. What do we think? Okay. What about if we had like every month people could come and bring poems that they wanted to workshop, whatever other writing they wanted to workshop, And then we still have the seasonal big slam with a theme and costumes and all of that. What about that? What do we think?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I have to get my little piece ready. So this is some fiction that I wrote just a couple of days ago. Yeah. One morning, you will walk into this drugstore on Linden. You will have a sleeve of tattoos and an earful of piercings, or you will wear a slutty little dress and carry your high heels. Maybe you will be better than I ever was, and you will simply walk in with an armful of textbooks or pushing a stroller and skinny jeans. This morning, you cannot walk, but I walk you past this drugstore on Linden. I have a sleeve of fading tattoos and an earful of closing up piercings. At the back of our closet, there is a slutty little dress and one odd heel. I am being better than I ever was, at least in the eyes of my mother. I am wearing skinny jeans and pushing your stroller, overflowing with textbooks. That morning, I walked into this drugstore on Linden. I had a sleeve of tattoos and an earful of piercings, burning with infection. I wore that slutty little dress and carried high heels. I used to feel better than I ever was. I walked out with a positive pregnancy test on my way to pick up textbooks and skinny jeans and a stroller. Thank you.
Another round for Elijah, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would like to welcome Owen to the stage, please. Owen. Going once, going twice. Okay. In that case, I would like to welcome Aaron to the stage.
I'm gonna regret it as soon as I'm up here. This decision was made all of 20 seconds ago. I'm really inspired by all of your vulnerability in this room, so I'm taking notes from y'all. I've also never done this, so. Thank you. I am a member of the ASOP Society writing group that's in this corner. We had a project a few months ago to write about love around Valentine's Day, and this is a little section of what I wrote then. I do want to note there's themes of disordered eating, so do with that as you will. So here we go. I didn't know you could be prescribed meditation, but here I am. This feels stupid. She thinks it'll help. My eyes fail me, not light tight enough to block out the midday streams in front of the balcony window. The cold metal splat is firm against my back, forced into a slouched posture, the love handles of my hips overflowing the apron of the chair. I notice the weight of my body, the pressure of camelback arms resting against my sides and down my thighs. She says you may feel claustrophobic, putting words to feelings I've always questioned, why I've never been able to sit with myself. I feel trapped, stuck, closed in. 5 years ago, I sat in a room much like this, across from a doctor, walking me through mindful eating. Placing a single Hershey kiss on the table in front of me, what a tease. Smell the chocolate, he said, as if it were a full-bodied Merlot in glass stemware, breathing in the oxygen, releasing aromatic compounds. Peeling back the crisp metallic wrapper, the paper tail waves like a classic commercial with Christmas bells. I can smell it already, sweet, buttery, sour. She cuts me off. Notice where your thoughts are wandering. Acknowledge the thought, then return to your breath. It's almost as if she heard me. Was I saying it out loud, salivating at the mouth like one of Pavlov's dogs, coming to associate this bologna with the reward of a sweeter treat? Attending to my breath, I try to sync pace with the girl to my left, tilting my body 1 degree warmer. We're off beat, holding my breath more clearly, holding my breath to catch up. The room feels hot, I feel overheated. The toxins boiling in my bloodstream, I try to practice and picture them like Pac-Man snack pellets and power cookies. Pushing the thoughts away, focus back on my breathing, I'm out of sync again. No use in holding it in now, I'm gasping. The reasonable explanation is the acute asthma. I haven't needed my inhaler in a decade, but maybe it's the asthma. It has to be the asthma. What else could it be? Mentally noting a list of 7 different diagnoses. It could indeed be, well, trying to understand the makeup of my diaphragm, my lungs, my larynx, my trachea, my pharynx. I should not be allowed to use WebMD. Can you get tunnel vision behind closed eyelids? It's like a strobe, like the glare of the dumb LED lights on cars as they speed towards me. My breath, damn it, focus on my freaking breath. Back first on my train of thought, now my inhalation. Is it louder than the others? Can they hear me? Shallowing my breath in an attempt to muffle the exhaust. Of course they can still hear me. I'm taking up space in my room. I am the room. I don't want to be in the room. I want to be let out of this room. Let me out. I need space. I need fucking space. I need air. Return me to the pace of your breath, she says. Notice it without judgment. Holding one hand against my chest, the other on my lower belly. Is this what grounding feels like? I can feel the blood coursing through my veins, the pounding of my heartbeat reverberating through my ears. My stomach gurgles, crying out for satiation. I shush it back to sleep. I'll feed you later. But we both know how it goes. Drought, famine, flood. I love the taste of water. I'm lucky in that sense, not needing added flavors of peach mango and strawberry pomegranate or the godforsaken swimming cucumbers to toss it back. Yet I never seem to drink enough. I love the taste of food, a denounced picky eater and self-identified foodie, but it always seems to eat too much. So now I just don't. The only way I can think to calm the rampant fire of I'm not smart enough to pass the test, not creative enough to build worlds, not funny enough to hold attention, not strong enough to want the focus, not pretty enough to be wanted, not worthy enough to be loved, loud enough to be heard but not listened to, just there enough to be used. Everything in moderation, they say, but I fall in the routine cycle of all or nothing, and nothing always turns to everything all at once. So I punish myself with nothing, again and again and again, withdraw, reduce, extinguish. It's their fault, you know. They don't see me, they don't like me, they don't want me. But I see me and I don't like me either, and I wouldn't want me. I mean, I just don't. Happy-go-lucky, she chimes in again, instructing me to praise the present moment. At this point, I'm done, squinting in the light, my palms open, turning to pointers, tracing through stretch marks of tattooed works of art. A single tear swells in the inner corner of my eye. Don't let them see you cry.
Let's do another big hand for Aaron. Thank you very much. Let's bring Julie to the stage, please. Julie.
Hi. I have two poems to read. The first one is called String Theory. Rose gave me a blue string, the shade of the deep before creatures turn blind. The color of icebergs compressed by time, dropping into salt water and gone for granddaughters. The color of serenity as it beads at the nib to spread seeds as memory and moments slip. I spooled the string upon my left and kept the other end taut in my right, as if the line held a fish or a kite. Then stretched it between both to measure the delight that grows. In a lazy grin when fresh air fans the face, in a stride shadow as it marches under warm meridian, in the nightly bow given to body and reverie. Held between horizon and home, the string shrunk in length from the crest of the day, but I held it all of the way. Community spread. COVID is here, where we build our nests amongst the waves of bachata and bebop, peppered by the train whistles, long, long, short, long. Hope is swiftly silenced, then sirened, leaving just the morning doves, coo-ah, coo, coo, coo. The frailest fall first, my black and brown neighbors next, then murmurs of taken children, like there is an invisible claw plucking persons, lives memorialized in 5G. It is awful, awful. I go to Narragansett Land all the way, to the lighthouse, pack a lunch, scream at the hazardous shoals and hazmat suits, ionic wind, coronal discharge. It goes down quickly and jams itself in my craw. Last gasp, flip prone. A small stream runs nearby. I walk to it nightly, Man has made a dam of water, fireballs, and masks. A family of mallards has moved in. Some ducklings will be eaten by the coyotes. They, like viruses, are still wild.
Give a great hand for Julie. That was very nice. I want you all to know that we're going to end this night with a musical number and everyone is going to sing along, but we're going to do that a little bit. I believe that we have honored everybody who has signed up for the sheet. I will now open this up to anybody who would like to perform. Please.
I signed up for,
Oh, okay. I take it all back.
I want to dedicate this performance to Claude. You shared something about memories, repressed memories, and I am not fully uncovered them yet. It's like really there. So I'm gonna write something. I'm gonna share something I wrote about. Forgive me for the sacrilege. God penetrates me with orgasmic love, despite my blasphemy and depravity. I asked him to stop, but his cruelty knows no end. He kept on loving me. I pushed, I debased myself. I came to him with my bruised flesh and said, look, I've cut myself and made myself ugly. Oh, but what a mistake. He just loved me harder. So I began praying to wicked men, the ones who punished me in the way God refused to. Men who saw how worthless I was and were determined to make me feel so. How grateful I was to be seen for what I am. But the Lord, in all his mysterious ways, took me away from those men and kissed my bruises better. Immediately I broke into tears. I am not worthy, I cried. Stop this tenderness. I'm disgusting and evil. I deserve to be beaten and killed. All I'm good for is abuse. In blood-curdling screams, I begged God to hurt. Then I confessed. I'm confused. They say I'm worthless, but you treat me differently. They told me I'm a hole to rape. I don't know what to believe. If I am so horrible, why do you continue loving me? I fell to my knees and sobbed. Why? Why do you love me? What have I done to deserve this? God picked me up into his arms again, and his only response was to keep loving me.
Let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Would anybody else like to come up and perform a poem? Anybody?
Sharon was inviting me.
I'm inviting Joe Scott.
It was one of the foolishness in the repertoire.
We're here for foolishness.
I certainly hope so. I mean, when I say heart-wrenching, some of it is heart-wrenching. Don't take me seriously. The other day, I got invited to a funeral. But to my great astonishment, the fellow didn't die. He said that he was sorry for having disappointed us. And seeing he apologized, we let the thing go by. To ease our disappointment, he took us out and treated us. A double round of whiskey for a thirsty bunch of 10. When we asked him who it was, whose money he was squandering, the fellow took his wallet out. We didn't ask again. But we got the concertina, for to add to the frivolity, though none of us could play it, and we did our best and worst. We made an awful noise of it, and if it's any benefit, we played the thing so carefully that all the bellows burst. We got a boiled potato, for to fix the concertina with, when someone hit McCarthy with the carcass of a cat. He bundled up his mustaches and read us out the riot act. He said he'd rip the head off of the Amadon, done that. Now the owner of the public house, who seen us fairly rioting, gave orders to get out, but that we flat refused. So we whistled in some locals what were lounging round the corner, and for 10 or 15 minutes we were bodily abused. Projected out the public house, down the road we stumbled. A bunch of ragged urchins, they pelted us with mud. We told them for to chuck it, and they said that they were doing that. Then they all run off and left us where we fell or stood. For the Salvation Army come marching round the corner, and they rifled through our pockets as they sang that we were saved. Poor little John McGinty got escorted to the station for the song that he was singing, and the way that he behaved. For to free McGinty, we all took off our undershirts. And to the local pawn shop, we took the blooming lot. We told them that we needed maybe only 10 and 6 on them. There was enough on them already, was the answer that we got. But we got the 10 and 6, for to free McGinty. Bad luck though to the little pub that found us on the way, for we couldn't just go by it without having some refreshment. We squandered every penny of the fine we were to pay. Our senses we surrendered to that good old General Guinness, and for a bit of rioting we stoutly did repair. We battled one another as we rearranged the tables, keeping track of lighter objects that were flying through the air. Now O'Hara hit O'Leary, and O'Leary hit O'Grady, and every man hit any man, and every man was right. While poor old crippled McNamara, sitting, saying nothing, poked at random with his crutches to intensify the fight. The party started hitting up as bodies flew about. Mulvaney picked Mulroney up and dropped him on his head. The owner of the public house got nudged straight out the window. 'Twas a miracle that nobody was dead. The patrons started joining in, fists flying fast and furious. Some fella tried to gouge me eye out, poking with his thumb. And all the while a lively crowd of unemployed and curious were making bets on who would still be standing when the Gardaí come. We fought away like fools until the boys in blue arrested us and took us off to jail with broken noses and black eyes. I got 30 days in prison. And for me, that was a lesson. I shall go no more to funerals, including my own funeral. I'll go no more to funerals unless somebody dies.
Keep it up for Joe, thank you.
So, how about I share one with you? So, as an author, I'm often accused of being too serious. So, this is something a little frivolous. It's called The Cat Came Back. The cat came back from far-flung shores to tell me of his travels. When first he arrived, surprised I was, and fed him with tender victuals. He rubbed upon himself and then upon me, and fell upon his back, exposing his belly to me, delighted and purring. Tuna dropped into his mouth, and delighted he was, and then he spoke. A raspy voice, something like a jazz singer, old, a smoker, perhaps. At first I thought I was mad. I called my therapist. Quick, if this is a medical emergency, please dial 911. When eventually she called me back, she said it's quite common to speak to cats. She spoke to 5 or 6 on a given day, once a cow, once a duck, and even a flamingo. She told me not to worry, but to converse and see what the beast had to tell me. And so I sat with the cat and I stared at him, and he told me of his travels. Let me tell you of my lives, he said. The first few, I was royalty. People waved plum fronds at me. They dropped live mice into my face, and suddenly I was revered. But know this lesson, for many lives, it is boring to be worshipped. Vehicles, he shook his head. Vehicles are hard and unforgiving. Bumpers, wheels, all kinds of terrible things that crush a cat underfoot. I have lost many lives to these electric monstrosities. War, you love war. To kill and poke and prod and shoot. It seems that this is all you do through 2 great wars. I've lost my life, and now I'm running low. There's been the internet, there's been a bunch of inventions, and yet you still take us to the vet. I do not understand. In my confusion, I looked at God and I said, how many lives do you have left? And he said, I have but one. And I said, why? Why have you come back? Why have you come back to see me? And he said, silly boy, you are my love. This life I spent with you. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to welcome to close us out, Clarissa Nett Brooks for one last poem. Thank you so much.
That she can do too. One's really short, because I want to dedicate one to everyone who came up here and really just spoke their truth tonight, and who finds solace in writing and healing in writing, and just unboxing yourself and letting yourself be who you are and who your spirit needs to be. This poem is called Boxed, and I dedicate it to every single person in this room. Did you know your world was open when you first arrived? The possibilities were endless. So many reasons yet to thrive. But someone said, stop now. Get back inside your box. Remain where it is known and safe. That's when your mind began to lock. You stayed right there and you watched while others lived out their dreams, while you believed the lie that only they were born for great things. And when you questioned, you were told, now, don't talk silly. That life's not for you or me. Just strive for normalcy. So you asked once more and you were told again, stop talking like a fool. You can't do those kinds of things. They ain't for me or you. So there you stayed and you remained, believing the common lie that keeps you locked inside your box, that is now locked from the inside. I'm doubtful of always. This one, I believe in the power of words. I believe that words are healing. I also believe that words can be harmful. And I've been hearing so many ugly words on the news these days. It just makes me turn it off. I can't stand it. And I've been seeing ugly memes and things that are just so inhumane. And I think of the power of the pen every time I see one of them. And I think, what is your intention before you share your words, whether they be spoken or written? And I pray sometimes, literally, before I pick up my pen. And I still write poems by pen. You know, I'm still an old-fashioned girl that way. And I say, you know what, God, if you would send words to some people, or I don't believe it's him that's saying it, but evil sending it to some people, send me some that are good that can also be healing. So let me just stop talking and read my poem. It's self-evident. This poem is called Send Me the Words of Peace. I have heard it said that words can start a war. Words said within steps of you can wound someone afar. They can send young soldiers off to war to be totally devoured. They can ruin what is most sacred in this world of ours. Words, just simple letters intertwined that can hold tremendous meaning when combined. They can have invincible power when written upon the lines, and they can freeze us in our tracks when blared across headlines. But is it possible that words can take us to a different place? One where humanity will not be displaced? a place where animosity can finally be replaced, a place where all our differences can finally be embraced. Can we somehow create a time with one another when there's finally no more harm to our sisters and our brothers, a time with no more broken fathers and no more crying mothers, just respect that is expressed for one another? Send me the words to soothe our souls that will conjure peace for young and old. I want the words that when they are told will allow a calmness to unfold. I will not even add my name. I am not seeking any fame. It is not for me to be acclaimed. I want only for those words to be proclaimed. So please, I sit here with my simple pen and pray for those words to finally be sent. I'll write each one down, you see, and then release them to the world as I say, amen. Thank you.
We'll keep it going, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. All right, I think Noel, you have one more? Yeah, okay, come on.
This one's also kind of about the news, but it's the more violent side of the news, so just be warned. I hate the news because all I hear about is people getting, nope, sorry. I hate the news, no matter what channel, no matter what reporter. Because when I turn on the news, all I hear are horror stories about people getting beat to death in public parks. All I hear are the leaders of our country actively promoting and passing laws that are trying to erase my existence. I hate the news because all I hear about is people getting shot at protests for their human rights. All I hear is about kindergartners' bodies lining elementary school hallways shot during math class. And what's the response to all this hatred and terror, you ask? No, they did not take guns out of Walmarts. No, they did not try hard to prevent repetition. No, they did not fight louder for human rights. All they said is thoughts and prayers. Tell me, oh, sorry. Why don't you send your thoughts and prayers to the children practicing playing dead instead of house? Why don't you send your thoughts and prayers to the mothers still setting an empty plate, pretending its recipient is still there? Why don't you send your thoughts and prayers to the fathers who are picking out coffins they never planned to see, and to the friends throwing parties to celebrate a life taken too soon? Tell me, if your child was shot, if your sister was beaten, if your brother was smothered, if your mother was raped, if your father was silenced for speaking the truth, would thoughts and prayers be enough to fill that void?
Let's keep it going for Noel, please. Thank you. I believe in storytelling. I believe it is something that is akin to a superpower. I think that through words and through action and through collectives like this, where people are safe and honored and protected, it starts here and it spreads out. Take this to your communities, take this to your homes, take it into your heart and carry it forward. That is how we win. That is how we move forward. That is how we unite under one single umbrella of love, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Thank you. It has been an honor. Thank you so much. So Lee's going to hand out something to each of your tables, and we would love if everybody who would like to, because I sure as hell am not going to do this all night, would come up and join us for a big old sing-along.
Thinking about the theme groovy. And, so I dressed groovy. And there's the musical, yeah. There's more, oh my gosh, because we're coming into another age of Aquarius. Oh, God. Right now.
All right, Lee, this is your show. I'm not used to doing this sober, so I need some help, please.
Okay.
You can.
Okay. It's only the old.
All right, anyone actually really know this song?
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah, I know it.
Welcome to the shit show, ladies and gentlemen. As far as I know.
All the way back. They're gonna sing. I hope. They're gonna sing. I'm gonna do it right now.
All the way back?
I feel like King Grant. There you go. When the moon is in the seventh house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then with thy friend, and love will still start. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. Mystic crystal revelation and the mind's liberation. And love will still stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. No value Aquarius has been, I'm sorry, I'm a Capricorn.
Sounds different when a good convention.
It gave us, I think it gave us 600.